So what are the best ways to try and reverse homelessness? Joining us from Chicago with some perspective is Neli Vazquez-Rowland. She's a co-founder and president of a Safe Haven Foundation. It's a group that helps rebuild lives from homelessness and poverty. Let me just get your thoughts on that story we just aired. Mr. Abbott seems like he's doing good things, but he's run into trouble with the law, with the city. And then, of course, the homeless folks saying themselves that they kind of want to be shunted off to the side, not seen there in public.
Wow, incredible work that Mr. Abbott is doing, absolutely. However, at A Safe Haven, we look at it a little different. We look at the importance of feeding people as being a primary basic need, and of course, housing them. And that is what we do at A Safe Haven. But beyond that, we feel it's really important to have that be part of a comprehensive plan. So at the end of the day, we're addressing the root causes of why people are in crisis, whether it's drug and alcohol addiction, unemployment, domestic violence, veterans coming home, having nowhere to transition to, and really identify the root causes for each individual case. And going forward, connecting the dots in terms of providing them the appropriate services such as treatment, education, job training, job placement. So if you look at our website, our model is really comprehensive. It's very integrated. And at the end of the day, it does lead people, the vast majority of people, to sustainable self-sufficiency, which is our work and our goal at A Safe Haven. And the good news is we're getting dramatic results. We've been doing this for 20 years, and the vast majority of people that do come through our programs go beyond that. And now they're raising their children, in a very responsible and accountable way, because that's something that they learn at A Safe Haven, and we feel that that's how we break the cycle of poverty long term.
Neli,
so that's our approach.
Neli, let me ask you this. It seems like homelessness rates are going down overall. There's been a steady decline. They really haven't gone down substantially. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I think we're getting a little smarter. It's really important as we've had very challenging budgets around the country and even around the world in addressing human service issues. We have to think differently in terms of really thinking of comprehensive plans to help people at the end of the day become self-sufficient in a sustainable way. So that's forcing us to think more creatively. I believe that in our country, in America, we do have the resources. It's just a matter of thinking about how can we reallocate those resources. As a matter of fact, so many of our resources have really gone towards the symptoms and the consequences, such as building more prisons, hiring more police officers, things that are dealing with really consequences of poverty. So if you look at where poverty happens or where crime happens or academic underachievement happens, it's usually attributed to an ecosystem that really consists of poverty. So we believe if you solve poverty, then you're going to see more sustainability at the end of the day in helping people support themselves and no longer suffer from any of the consequences that we tend to, channel many of our resources towards.
Let me talk to you about the social safety net, because you already brought up veterans. We mentioned children. Mental illness, also a piece of this. Should there be more, more of a safety net provided? You talked about prisons. It seems like it's going in one direction. Perhaps the resources should go in another direction.
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. With the tough on crime laws that we've had for the last couple of decades, we've really spent many of our resources that should have been spent on social services on consequences such as criminalization. So with, for example, the Affordable Care Act, we're excited about seeing the fact that behavioral health care is going to be part of the delivery system. So many people that are suffering from drug and alcohol addiction or behavioral health care issues are actually ending up in the correctional system, which costs 10 times more, if not, dramatically more money than it does to just help someone in the front end. And many studies show that you save $7 to $20 in terms of helping people that are in crisis on the front end, per dollar spent, rather. So for us, the answer is simple. It's a no-brainer. You help people in crisis, connect the dots, get them on their feet, help them support themselves, support their families, and break that cycle of poverty. And at the end of the day, that will be money well spent. And we're building a society that we all value people and value the resources that we have so that we can create a sustainable and inhumane society. And the world is struggling with this issue, and we're excited about the fact that, we are rethinking our approach, because what we have unintentionally, and the tough on crime laws that we've created a society that is essentially unemployable. So it's important to reverse that trend. In regards to veterans coming home, about 76% of them are coming home with behavioral health care issues, and they're having challenges reconnecting back with their families, with employment, and back into society. So we believe it's really important to transition them softly into society with the opportunity to get a roof over their head and food first and foremost, but at the end of the day, connecting the dots in the same way and helping them pursue their God-given potential. And when you don't have a roof over your head and you don't have food, it's hard to think about, the long-term plan, and that's what we help them do at A Safe Haven.
Neli Vazquez-Rowland, thanks so much for joining us from Chicago. Certainly appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.